This is Mark from the Tree Care Expert channel. We're here with Bryant from Ronin. How are you?
Doing great.
What do we have here today?
We're out here demoing the Ronin Power Ascender at TCIA 2022 in Charlotte.
And what can you tell us about this particular product? We've seen you go up and down 100 times today. But
probably on my 400th ascent of the day, you know, as we introduce this new technology into the industry. Just some background on ourselves and the company. I'm the CEO of the company. We came out of the rescue industry. We're actually designing hoists and winches for helicopters originally. So if you've ever seen a Coast Guard or mountainside rescue done by helicopter, that's what we were doing before we got into this. And in that industry, we'd see those helicopters used a lot for commercial operations where maybe they were dropping a technician off on a wind turbine or a transmission tower or on an oil and gas platform. And we just saw how many men and women each and every day are up on ropes, and we wanted to provide some better access tools to those industries and came up with an idea to bring powered ascenders to the market.
Excellent. And this is a battery operated machine?
Battery operated machine, super compact, super lightweight, will lift 400 pounds. You can safely ascend and descend, and really what the tool's doing is it's accomplishing what a lot of personal protective equipment can't do. You know, we ask our climbers to strap on a ton of PPE when they climb, adding that extra body weight, but we don't really address the fatigue in the industry and the wear and tear on the body from the actual physical climbing. So this tool's starting to help be that new form of PPE to really be preventative in the fact that it can help protect the body over the long term from the wear and tear, help lessen fatigue, which we all know correlates to safety issues within the industry. Usually when you're tired, that's when the injuries happen. And so it's really a new form of PPE that we're seeing in arboriculture and telecom and wind and mining, oil and gas, and so all the men and women that are up on ropes working.
You talked about the ascending end of things. Now what about the descend part of it?
So it's a gravity-fed descent on this system, and the rope is actually going around a drive shaft 3 times. And when we're descending, we're actually back driving a speed reduction gearbox. So it works almost very similar to an automatic descender. So it's always going to have a controlled rate of descent with the individual on it. And then it has a very traditional mechanical braking system. It works very similar to a lot of rope wedge outs that you see on fall protection devices.
Okay. And everything is controlled right there on the unit. You don't need an additional person to assist you.
Everything's controlled. There's a thumb wheel here that you can roll down to increase speed, and there's also reverse built in to back down on the unit. There's remote control options to bring the ascender down by itself if you elect. So lots of different options of control. Obviously you can use this as a winch, so if you're winching and you want to be out the bite zone, you can step back and winch with it with the remote. So there's lots of choices and uses in terms of control, but mainly if you see a person ascending, they're controlling it directly right on the device.
Excellent. And as far as the control of the device, is it what happens when you get into a position where you lose grip of the tree, whatever, you're totally hands off, your hands are in the air, totally off the machine?
Yep.
What happens at that point?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a positive braking system in here, so that braking system's always on. So essentially when you're operating the Ronin, you're operating it with one hand obviously free, and when you release that control, that device is just going to hold you in place. And when you're moving to descend, it's the same thing. You're descending, you're in a controlled rate of speed, and if you wanted to release that brake system to stop, you could just stop yourself right in place.
Nice. Excellent. So very easy use.
Very easy to use. We went with a very easy system. This is an in-feed system, so when that rope goes in, it wraps around that drive shaft 3 times, and that's really to help prevent against rope detachment, make the device straightforward, very easy to use so that we can accommodate a wide level of skill ranges. And it offers a lot of capability to provide against possible detachment from the rope.
How much continuous use do you get out of a single battery, out of a single charge?
So out of basically the way the batteries work, it's a function of weight. So as you increase load on this device, you start pulling more amperage through the device. So if you're a 200-pound individual, you're going to get 700 feet of ascension going up, and you're not going to use any battery to come down. So if you wanted to count up and down with 200 pounds, you get about 1,400 feet of rope travel with that battery, and it's a very linear function. So if I was using the max load capacity of 400 pounds, I'd get about 350 feet of ascension, and it's purely a function of load hanging on the device.
Okay. And do you know how long it takes to charge charge a battery once it's completely dead?
2.5 hours to charge the battery up from dead. And you can charge it in your wall at home, you can use an inverter in your car. It'll take a little bit longer to charge through an inverter, but essentially it's a pretty quick charge on these lithium ion cells.
And if people want more information on this product, what's their best resource?
Well, there's a couple ways. You know, here at TCIA, we're here supporting our chief distributor, which is Vertical Supply Group. So Cheryl Tree Stuff, anyone within the Vertical Supply Group network. They're a great kind of first stomping ground for resource, but you can also contact Ronin directly. You know, our goal here is to really educate and provide more information on this technology, really elevate this technology as its own product class within fall protection. So you can always contact us directly. Website's www.roninpowerascender.com. Our telephone number is 657-444-2557. Call us direct, start asking questions, and don't be afraid to call. This is new technology for everybody, and we're really about here providing the information to keep you safe, keep you healthy, and really get the best, most effective use out of this technology for your industry and your business.
Excellent. Thank you. And again, this is Bryant from Ronin. Thank you very much.